finally get to the main topics of Data Cloud, I have one more topic that I added that's not on the official glossary, and that is reports, dashboards, and report types. What I learned in the course of studying is that there are some objects, data stream, segment, activation target, and identity resolution, that you must create report types for those objects, and then you can report on them. Separately, I learned that DLOs and DMOs, and possibly DSOs, and we're going to talk about all of those next, are not S objects. They have an extension instead of __C, they have __DLM. And at first I thought that meant we can't report on them, but then I found out that we can report on them. There is in the help this whole document with resources regarding general reports and dashboards in Salesforce, and also specifically to Data Cloud. There is billing associated with reporting on your Data Cloud data, so be aware of that. And here's a bunch of examples of the kinds of reports that you can get from all the different data model objects, DMOs. In this video, we are shown a Data Cloud choice category of report types when creating a new report. We don't see that in the trial org, the publicly available trial org, but here's an example of it. And then these would be all the different report types that come with this Data Cloud set of report types. So for example, and I'll just let this run a little bit. So we've got individual with voucher. There was information that said no reports, then there's information that says there are reports, and as best as I understand it, there are two different answers. One is that on these 1, 2, 3, 4 objects that we can report on them with standard Salesforce report types, and then there's these Data Cloud report types on the DLOs and DMOs. So now we're finally moving into the setup of Data Cloud. So the first term we need to know is ingestion, which is the process of importing data from multiple sources into Data Cloud. Data ingestion I happen to find through, I believe, ChatGPT, the act of bringing data from one or more sources into Data Cloud. It can be a one-time event or can occur at regular intervals. So for example, maybe we bring data from CRM nightly, but bringing data from a website might be hourly. Next, we have a data connector, a specialized data stream that communicates with external sources to transmit data into Data Cloud. First-party data, that's the data that your company has directly collected from your audience. For example, your customer provides you with their birthday, or social media followers enter a contest with your company. So you've directly collected the data, that's first-party data. Second-party data comes from a partner or as the result of some kind of relationship. Third-party data is something that you perhaps buy or somehow collect from someone who doesn't have a direct relationship with your users. Amazon S3. Do we know what the S3 stands for? It stands for Simple Storage Service. This is a service offered by Amazon Web Services, AWS, that provides object storage through a web service interface, also referred to as cloud storage or cloud file storage. So this can be one of the sources of data for Data Cloud. GCS is an acronym that stands for Google Cloud Storage. This is a RESTful online file storage web service for storing and accessing data on the Google Cloud Platform infrastructure. Again, another source of data that can be brought into Data Cloud. MuleSoft is software for easily connecting disparate software applications within an enterprise so that they can share data and provide a unified view of the customer. Part of the Salesforce organization since 2018. So quite a few of the ways that we connect to outside sources is using MuleSoft to bring data into Data Cloud. A data stream is a data source brought into Data Cloud. For example, a Marketing Cloud customer data extension. These data streams can be based on batch data or streaming data streams. Now, there are two terms here, the same acronym DSO, that do not appear in the official glossary: data source object or data stream object. Interesting that they're not in the official glossary, and ChatGPT called it a DMO, which would be incorrect. So the definition of data stream object from ChatGPT was the initial object used to store the data collected from a data stream. Elsewhere, I saw other definitions that talk about it being a temporary initial place that stuff is stored when you first make a connection and create a data stream. But pretty quickly, once the stream is coming into Data Cloud, that data is stored not in your Salesforce org where Data Cloud is. It's stored in a data lake somewhere else, but it's represented inside Salesforce in the Data Cloud user interface in Salesforce in data lake objects, DLOs. These are storage containers within the data lake for the data ingested into all data streams within Data Cloud. So is the DLO in Salesforce, or is the DLO in the data lake? This is something that's not entirely clear to me. DLO, data lake object. UDLO is unstructured data lake object, which is created manually. It's a container for unstructured data referenced by Data Cloud. So that could be images or files, not rows and columns. That would be structured data. Okay, now category. Whenever we create a data stream, we have to categorize it, and we have three choices. The choices are profile, engagement, and other. Profile is for the people, the consumers, the businesses, the accounts, or the employees, the entities with which you do business. Engagement is time-based. So it could be clicks, it could be purchases, it could be cases submitted. It's the engagement of the profile people or entities with your company. And then other is for anything that doesn't fit into either of those. So for example, products or stores could be data that you want to bring into Data Cloud to use, but it's not about the customers and it's not about their engagement. It's more utility type of data. Once you create a stream and save it, and you have to pick one of these categories and then it cannot be changed. So if you pick the wrong one somehow, you have to delete it and start again. A composite key is a primary key made up of multiple fields from the source data. So you generate that by using a formula to concatenate several pieces of information to make sure that you're getting a unique key. Data type is the type and format of the source data ingested, and specifically those types that are available in Data Cloud are text, number, and date time. And then a POS is point of sale. That's a system that manages transaction data at the point of purchase, such as at a retail store or a grocery. So that could be a source of engagement data brought into Data Cloud. And then we're on to number 14, which is its own topic, but it only has one item in the glossary, which is data transform. This is a feature of Data Cloud that combines, shapes, cleans, and preps your data directly in Data Cloud. They also want us to be clear that Data Cloud is not primarily for cleaning data, but sometimes it may be necessary to do some of that on the way in to Data Cloud.